If you want to be more efficient and effective while experiencing more inner peace, then working on the core of your issues instead of putting on a Band-Aid is vital. Welcome to Life Fix University podcast. I'm your host, Esty Rapport, and here to help you improve your 28 cognitive functions, the 28 things that make up thinking. In each episode, we'll discuss a real-life challenge, why you might be struggling with it, and give you practical strategies so all areas of your life will improve.
Do you control your brain, or does your brain control you? That's what's coming up next on the Life Fix University podcast, episode 363. But first, are we connected on TikTok? It's my favorite place to hang, and I'd love to see you there. Come hang out with me. Come say hi at Life Fix University. Now, for today's real life challenge, imagine you are middle of redesigning a client's website, taking the assumption you are a graphic designer of some sort or doing any work for your client, but you've hit a roadblock again. You want to refund your client and just call it quits. Believe it or not, you might be struggling with this if you have the cognitive deficiency of blocking. Cognitive functions are the things that make up thinking. There are 28 parts of them. And when one of them are weak, it's called a cognitive deficiency. And blocking is one of those cognitive deficiencies. In the positive, when it's strong, it's called persevering. So what is blocking? Blocking is when you feel like you have a wall and you just can't do it. You are done. I just feel like giving up. You just want to call quits, literally. You are not incapable to do this task. The blocking is just so strong that it is controlling you. But you can learn to rewire your brain so that way you can control your brain. If you listen to episode 352, you know that a big part that plays into blocking and rewiring your brain to go from blocking to persevering is growth mindset. So if you haven't checked it out, you will want to listen to 352. Growth mindset is about changing the way you think about the task. It's about showing yourself that with enough work, it is possible and you'll be able to do it. But how? You now have this wall. I can't do it because I just now have this wall. Just get started. Create a starting point. That is the strategy that is going to help you get out of blocking. Create a starting point. A starting point is exactly what it sounds like. You're going to create, just going to think about and create just the very first step that you need to do. Don't think about this whole task and be overwhelmed by this whole task. Think about what's the very first thing. What's the one thing you're going to do to make this task easier? So if you are going back to this website that you are middle of designing, what's the very first step you have to do? Step number one is log in to the client backend. That's it. You're not thinking about anything else. And then once you get there, into the one step again, right? If you're setting a table, what's your starting point? Putting on a tablecloth, or maybe if the table's messy, first have to clean the mess up. So then that would be taking off the garbage off the table. Okay. What is really important at this stage is to take step one without thinking about the next 30 steps. Once you do the first step, then you'll take the next, and eventually you'll break down that wall, you'll break down that blocking, you'll have that perseverance, and you'll be able to do it. You will be in control of your brain. In this episode, we spoke about the cognitive deficiency of blocking and the cognitive function of persevering. They go hand in hand. Just one's weak and one is strong, and how it stops you from doing what you want to do. To overcome this cognitive deficiency, to rewire your brain for persevering, use the strategy of making a starting point. This week, I want you 3 times to catch yourself when you find yourself blocking and create that starting point so you could be persevering instead.
That's all for this episode of the Life Kicks University podcast. If you enjoyed it, please share it with 2 of your family and friends so they too can gain from it, and you'll be helping us reach our goal of 1 million downloads by the end of 2025. Have an awesome rest of your day and grow those dendrites.